Hi, hi. Coffee? We're off. We're four out there. Did I just give you a view of mess? I'm adjusting everything around here because my son is now mobile, guys. Pray for me, pray for me. He can crawl, well, kind of, he can Rambo around. Like Rambo, you know, like Australian crawl all over the floor and goes straight for the electrical outlets straight away, obvious. So let's talk about leadership. I have just been thinking so much about this today, about leadership. Oh, let me go and share this. I swear, I actually need an assistant. Hi, Abby Wilkes. I actually need an assistant sitting here, I don't know, like on my shoulder, basically, saying share fucking videos and telling me what to do every moment of the day because my brain has been hijacked by lack of sleep. Sharing in my group. Entrepreneurs Who Travel, which just had a name change, and you should be in there. Let's do that. Hi, Abby Wilkes, how are you? Hey, good afternoon, gorgeous. Now, everybody watching this, and there are going to be hundreds of you, I know it, there always are. Abby Wilkes and I are running an incredible retreat later this year, and you better be there. I can't tell you anymore because it's not public knowledge until next week, but it's really freaking good. So where are we up to? This is decaf placebo effect today. So why good leadership is your most important asset and how to do it even if you've never considered yourself a leader. So most of the women who hire me, woohoo, Abby, we're an awesome team, by the way, Abby Wilkes and I. She's like the best right-hand lady there is. Abby, can you sit on my shoulder and tell me what to do all day, please? Leadership. Most of the women in my sphere are actually incredible leaders, but don't consider themselves as such. Most of the clients that I have, most of the people I collaborate with are truly leaders, like true leaders in the sense that they are doing their own thing, they're stepping forward, they're cracking out of the mold. If you can sit on mine, let's clone ourselves and swap clones and just get bossed around all day. That'd be fun. So a lot of women I come across don't consider themselves leaders, and they actually fucking are. Like, they really are leaders. They're not doing the typical thing. They've broken out of the 9 to 5, and they are doing something different and seeking something that fits so much better with what they know is right for them. And that doesn't always look like a clear picture and like a beautiful vision board, which are like everything is pinned on there in a perfect order and like, this is how I want my life to look. It's not usually like that. It's usually a messier process of like, not that and not that and not that. I don't know what I'm picking, but I'm not having any of that shit anymore. And that's what that looks like. And so they start to step into a role, particularly in online business, where they need to make sales and they need to be visible to their audience. However, they still don't believe that they are a leader. And this is where I see so many women get stuck. So many people in my sphere get stuck. Men as well, but I tend to have women around me. So that's what I'm going to speak to. Just that ownership of being a leader, like, well, I'm not a leader. How do who would ever call me a leader? And this is a problem. This is a problem because without owning that leadership, it's very difficult to stand in front of your audience and ask to be paid, ask to be, or at a deeper level than that, like asking to be paid is an obvious symptom. Like if we have a problem being paid, which so many people do, like I want to start an online business, but I hate sales, or like I don't know how to sell, all that kind of stuff. That is a symptom, in my opinion, of a lack of ownership of leadership. Can you say ownership of leadership? Is that technically correct? Owning leadership, right? It's really, really important. So, and on a deeper level than that, it becomes really hard to affect massive change in the people that follow you without owning your own leadership. It is like a consistent thing that I see. Like, I very rarely have a woman come in to my sphere, hire me, or joining my, like, it's not never, but it's rare for a woman to come in and go, I am the leader of my community. I'm a fucking good one. I know how to lead my people, and I feel worthy of asking for whatever I'm asking in return for that leadership, which is generally sales, which is generally being paid. And this is really something that's big for me at the moment. I just got off watching a video about the New Zealand stuff, which I am not going to give any power to here. But looking at the way that Jacinda Ardern is leading the recovery, I don't know if you can call it that, but the aftermath of the horrible shit that happened in New Zealand recently, and seeing a woman standing in her power with compassion, with, you know, a true leadership ability, like a true decision to be an actual leader. And I don't want to, like, that's a thing that's so heavy on my heart, and like so many other people, and like I'm a long way away from it as well. But watching that woman do what she's doing is such a powerful message, and I hope that message is going to people around the world, which I'm sure that it is. I'm getting it here in Italy. But the point is, so many of us as women do not own our leadership. And the thing is, here's what I want to tell you. If you've decided to work in an online business, if you've decided that you need to be some level of visible, you are a leader, and that's what you're asking for. So if you're asking to be a leader, you're asking to do something different, you're asking to do something unusual, you don't want to go back to the usual 9 to 5, or maybe you're doing that on the side or whatever, but you're called to do something completely different, and yet you refuse to admit that you're a fucking leader, you're going to have a hard time of it. And it's so important for your people that you do own that leadership. And if we're going to talk about marketing, especially like in Borderless and Booked Out, my program, which is open at the moment, my group program, there's a really important part of this, which is about marketing, right? So many people go, well, I'm not making sales, do my marketing. Well, the marketing comes from your leadership. Your marketing style is determined by the way you lead your community, the desire you have for your community, the outcomes that you would like to see them have, the way you want them to feel when you're connected with them. That is what marketing is. Marketing is not, or in my opinion, should never be, how do I get someone to buy? How do I coerce somebody into buying? How do I manipulate somebody into buying, which is what a lot of sales is about. And I know that. I've been deep into the corporate world, deep into corporate sales, telecommunication sales, like deep in this shit, right? But to me, that's such an out of alignment way to lead a community and to receive money, because I can tell you that the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I received working in that way, working in that environment, I didn't necessarily work in that way. I found my own way through that, but that felt less good to me than earning $1 in integrity, leading my community with the way that the passion that I have and the desires that I have for the outcomes that I want to see them achieve. So what does this actually look like? I'm trying to be quiet so we don't wake up my son. So I'm like got this passionate voice, but it's like minimized. Can you actually hear me? I don't want to wake him up too early. I want to finish what I'm saying to you. So what does this actually look like? When we're talking about marketing, it can feel really complicated. Like we can feel like we need a script, downloads, and somebody telling us what words to use, and persuasion, and like totally not knocking Bushra Azar, who is a freaking genius, and I love her work, but persuasion is not for me. I don't want to persuade anyone in my audience that they should work with me. I want them to feel so impassioned that they must work with me, and their soul knows that I'm the person they need to hire next to get to their next level. I don't for any second believe that I am the answer to all of their prayers. I believe that they are, and that's how I choose to focus my leadership. So the way this looks in marketing is, instead of sitting there and going, how do I persuade someone? How do I hook them? Like, God, that word, how do I hook them with my opening line in my email? How do I make them buy from me? How do I make people buy? a really easy shift you can make in your leadership with your audience is to shift completely that idea that you need to convince people and that you need to hook them and that there's special words to say, power words to say that will make people buy from you. And instead, think about what you genuinely desire for your audience. Really, like I talk about this in the program, like caring the fuck out of your audience, caring the crap out of them, like genuinely care about them so much. And to the level that you sit there and you embody that care, you feel that level of care. When you consider the next person who's going to hire you and you think about what are they going to get from working with you and what are they going to say when they finish working with you? And you can feel that in every, I mean, I can feel that when I'm thinking about it now. There's cells in my body zinging and feeling like, you know, the next person who hires me is genuinely going to own their own power and genuinely going to step out of this, never reverse, never ever again step backwards into, I don't know, I'm not worthy, any of this kind of stuff, right? So getting deep into that. And then marketing from that place. So when you're marketing from a place of genuine care and you care the crap out of your community, the words come out by themselves. So if you want this to be easier, if you want sales to be easier, if you want people to hire you with a genuine passion and a genuine excitement, this is what leadership is: caring the crap out of your community and allowing the words to come forward in an honest way from there. And at the end of that, asking to be paid for it. Hope this is making sense. Let's look at some. Hi, Katrina. Hi, I haven't spoken to you for ages. I keep, you're on my list to send a little voicemail to. Tell me how you are. That's what is about. I want to know how you're doing. Own your leadership. That's the one. Own it, trust it. Trust, resonance, caring for your soul, people. And that's really it. You know, you do not need a degree. You do not need a marketing degree to do well at business. You do not need to know what words persuade people to make a sale. You really, really don't. And I feel that those ways of doing business are so much slower than just turning up in the morning. And this is a regular practice that I have. Turn up in the morning before I touch my computer. What does my audience need to hear from me today? And having the courage to consistently, and I'm doing this more and more, which so many of you are messaging me this week, well, in the past couple of months, saying, oh my God, you're on fire. Doing this more and more of consistently and unashamedly owning that I'm a business owner and this is what I do for a living, and inviting people to come and work with me. Come into my program, Borderless and Booked Out, or whatever it is that I've opened at the time. And I stay in that place of integrity in owning and I'm good, thanks. Just caught you before heading off to bed. It is very late over there. Wow. Night owl. Good to see you too. But just owning that place of integrity of, I really love my community. I really want to see them get this outcome. I know I'm the person that is can be the instigator for that change. And here's how I'm offering that they can step into my space, right? So this is what it's about: consistent leadership and consistent sales at the end of that, consistent call to action, a consistent invitation. This is what good leadership is, guys. And you are a leader. Like if you are, oh God, trying to keep my voice low when I'm so fucking passionate. If you're wanting to move into an online space, you are your brand. And if you are your brand, leadership is your #1 asset. And the day that you own that is the day this all becomes so much fucking easier. I promise you it does. So here's the thing. If you've been feeling like sales are hard, if you've been feeling like you don't know what to say to your audience, that you don't know what content to write, you don't know what order to write it in, you find yourself like drawn to scripts and you find yourself drawn to templates constantly and you copy and paste them and they don't fucking work and you're going through that whole thing, right? Which can last a really long time. And some of you watching this will be like, oh my God, it's been years. If that's you, please just take a minute to think about how you want to lead your community and just admit to yourself that you are in fact leading them. You are in fact a leader and that's what you've asked for. You can decide at what level that leadership happens. You don't need to be an internet celebrity, but you do need to be visible at some level. And whenever you're visible, you're a leader. So what kind of leader do you want that to be? What do you genuinely want for your people? And when you embody that, your audience feel that and everything becomes easier. Sales become easier. Things become way more aligned. The money that you make feels so much better. And when the money you make feels good, it's so much easier to expand it. So that's my rant for today. I want to see so many more women coming to me already aware that they are a leader. And already okay with that. And I know sometimes that's a process because we have been disempowered in so many different ways, and some of us more than others, and all that kind of shitty stuff. But please, we need leaders like you. Your audience needs you. There are people sitting there. This is something that I say in my business all the time. There's always someone in front of you. There's always someone ahead, and there's always someone behind. We learn from the people ahead and we lead the people behind. So if you're so focused on the fact that everybody is ahead of you and you're not focused on the way you're leading the people behind you, then that is the essential issue of why you're not getting what you want out of your business. Does that make sense? There's a few of you on here. Tell me if you have any comments. I usually jump right off at the end because somebody always wakes up and he's still asleep. I've been quiet. So to finish up, I have brought out today an extended payment plan for Borderless and Booked Out. So Borderless and Booked Out, the first time I brought this out it was a group program. Oh, I have to scroll. Love it. Keep your voice down. How can you? You're passionate. Yes, and like my hands talking has gotten so much worse in Italy, guys. But I'm not doing air quotes anymore. Gal Allen, you just joined. Hi. I'm not doing air quotes anymore. Aren't you proud? Borderless and Booked Out. There is now a 10-month payment plan, so everyone can get in. And it's a live program. So I've decided to run it live again this second round, which I wasn't going to do. I was going to let it be automated, but I just am really feeling the particular women that are in this one are such wonderful women, and I want to see you all grow together. So I'm facilitating this as another live round, which is really cool because I'm keeping the same price as when it was a course. And this is a super powerful program for owning yourself, owning your leadership, but also owning the fact that you can make this look however you want, and making it simpler is always better. And this is my superpower. This is how I like to lead you guys. Basically, the shortest route from, what's the saying? The quickest route from A to B is a straight line. I always forget, like I always get that back to front, right? So if you want a result, just go straight to the result. And that's what I'm teaching you in this course. I'm not in this program. I'm not going to be teaching you that you need to follow my exact business model. I'm not going to teach you that if you don't do it a particular way that it's wrong or bad or scary or you're not going to make any money. You can make money anyway. I have a firm belief that you can sell fucking anything. You can. It's about doing it in the way that you most enjoy it, that has the least amount of resistance, so you actually go and get the result. That's what I'm helping you with. So come and join us. I'll put the link in the comments. And get in there. We have pre-work drops tomorrow, which is really exciting. So, lovely to see your beautiful faces on here. This must be a randomly good time to see you guys. Love you. See you soon. Ciao.